You think your dog is smiling at you, but that tight-lipped grin is actually a biological cry for help. Why is a simple yawn flooding your dog's body with cortisol? Why do they suddenly come and stand right between you and your laptop? And most importantly, why are we destroying their immune systems by ignoring these yellow zone signals every single day? You love your dog like your own child. You feed them the most expensive organic food from Trader Joe's, and you let them sleep in your bed. But despite that, every day you are unknowingly missing signals that your dog is desperately trying to show you. Picture a check engine light blinking on your car dashboard. You ignore it, thinking it's a pretty decoration, while the engine slowly burns up inside. These behaviors in dogs that we think are cute are actually their biological check engine lights. The first sign is lip licking and yawning for no reason. The entire dog training industry has taught us for years that this is just fatigue, but they carefully avoided the real truth. In veterinary science, this is called displacement behavior. When your dog enters a new environment or gets into a situation where they do not quite know what to do, a hormone called CRH is released from the hypothalamus in their brain. This goes straight to hit the pituitary gland. From there, ACTH is released, signaling the adrenal gland to produce cortisol. When this whole chemical chain reaction happens, the dog's nervous system goes into overload. They suddenly yawn or lick their nose just to release the pressure of this overload. And for this exact reason, when you scold them or force them into your arms, you are actually throwing more fuel on that burning fire. This is not fatigue. It is a mechanism of their body to reduce the stress just a little bit. But when you ignore this small yawn, a damage begins inside that you cannot even comprehend. Now, let's move to the second and third signs, suddenly coming and standing between you and an object and pushing against you. TikTok and YouTube cute dog influencers are passing this off as cute jealousy and leading millions of people down the wrong path every day. Christine Harris, a researcher at the University of California, San Diego, did a bizarre experiment with 36 dogs. When the owners were reading a book or paying attention to a plastic Halloween bucket, the dogs did not really care. But the moment the owners started talking affectionately to a fake stuffed dog, the situation completely changed. The dogs became aggressive, and 25% of them tried to bite that fake toy. And almost all of them tried to build a wall with their own bodies by getting right between the owner and the toy. Because when the dog looks that way, actually in their head, the chemical reaction is completely different. This was not normal jealousy. From an evolutionary perspective, this is their primordial resource guarding. The fear that someone else is taking over their most valuable resource, the owner who gives them food and safety, hijacks their nervous system. Standing in the middle like this is not a demand for affection. It is a desperate attempt to stop their biggest fear. But what happens when this stress is not coming from an outside toy or another animal? The biggest moral question is, the cute outfits we put them in for our own peace of mind, is that really our love for them or a kind of silent abuse? The fourth and fifth signs are the most terrifying. Copying your emotions exactly and pacing restlessly. Scientists call this emotional contagion. Dogs have gone through thousands of years of evolution to read our facial expressions and body language. When you are sitting in front of your laptop sweating from stress, your body releases an invisible, sour smell of cortisol that your dog picks up right from the other side of the room. They absorb those invisible stress signals of yours like a sponge. Research has shown that when an owner's stress level goes up, a marker called chromogranin A spikes dramatically in the dog's saliva. Pacing restlessly back and forth across the room is just a physical manifestation of that. You might be thinking, okay, then just keeping them in a quiet environment will fix everything. Just keeping them away from sounds like 4th of July fireworks will reduce the stress, right? So if you think this is just fear, no, actually, it is not just fear. It is a biological overload. The real danger is not just in the stress being triggered. The real danger hides in the recovery time, or the time it takes to return to a normal state from the stress. This is where the sixth sign comes in, looking away, or whale eye. When the white part of the dog's eye is visible, and they keep turning their face away from you. On the fear, anxiety, and stress, or FAST scale, this is called the yellow zone. Researcher Lenson and their team tested dog saliva and saw that exactly 10 minutes after a stressful event, cortisol increases in a dog's body. This is normal. This is adaptive. But if 40 minutes later that cortisol or chromogranin A level does not go down, then it becomes chronic stress. If cortisol stays high for a long time, an immune component called secretory immunoglobulin A starts to get destroyed in the dog's body, which causes their immune system to stop working. The seventh sign is drinking excessive water and gaining weight. Chronic stress can lead to a terrible illness called Cushing's disease, where the adrenal gland just keeps making cortisol like crazy. The dog's muscles get weak, their hair falls out, and the risk of diabetes multiplies. That check engine light you ignored in the beginning is now burning up the entire engine. Honestly, I'm not sure this works exactly the same way for all breeds, because a greyhound and a chihuahua might react differently. But this mechanism of stress works inside every dog. So what is the way to get them out of this chronic spiral? The eighth and final sign is staring intently at you, which we call looking for a secure base. When a dog keeps turning to look at you in a veterinary clinic or a new environment, they actually want to confirm if their pack or their protector is still there. During this eye contact between humans and dogs, oxytocin is released in both bodies. This oxytocin brings the cortisol level straight down. It acts a lot like a biological shield. You just have to recognize these yellow zone signals. When they lick their lips, yawn, or pace restlessly, do not scold them. Do not try to force affection on them either. Let them understand that you saw that check engine light of theirs, and you are keeping the situation under control. Being able to understand these silent languages of dogs is what makes the difference between a normal owner and a true pack leader. But oxytocin might temporarily suppress cortisol. What happens after that? From today on, you are no longer a normal dog owner. Now you know the real science behind their silent language. When you are under extreme stress, does your dog try to comfort you by sitting close against you, or do they avoid you and hide in another room? Let me know in the comments.